In today's video, we're going to go through the United Airlines flight attendant hiring process. I've researched communities, I've reached out to flight attendants and recruiters to find out exactly what it takes to become a flight attendant for United Airlines. And I can guarantee you that everything you need is in this video. I will provide resources, sample answers, and a complete overview of the step-by-step hiring process. So you just need to watch this video and stay tuned until the end of this video, because I will give you a link to a downloadable guide where you can find everything covered in this video and 37 sample answers that I know will be asked during your interview. Great, so what will I be covering in this video? Number one, we'll be looking at the application process. Number two, the talent assessment. What is United Airlines looking for in the talent assessment? A little bit more on the personality tests as well as the SJT tests that are involved during the talent assessment. Number three, what is the flyer-friendly Q&A, which is an optional event, if it's worth going to, what others are saying about this, if it's recommended or not. The pre-recorded interview, the live virtual interview, which you have with a recruiter. We'll also be looking at the immersive interview, which is in person. This takes place at the head office. Number seven, the conditional training offer, CTO. Number eight, the in-flight training. Number nine, the graduation. Number 10, I'll also be going over the travel and benefits and the pay structure. Number 11, I'll provide some United Airlines frequently asked questions. Number 12, I'll also go over some sample answers you can expect to be asked during the interview process. These are actual questions and answers because I've gathered them from communities and by reaching out to recruiters. And finally, number 13, the United Airlines hiring guide. I will show you where you can download it. I have added some additional resources as well as 37 actual sample questions and answers that will be asked during the interview, and it will guarantee you will land a job with United Airlines as a flight attendant. Number one, the application process. Start by applying for a United flight attendant position as they become available throughout the year. Postings may have limited availability and close quickly. Therefore, we advise prompt application submission when the postings open. Don't forget to familiarize yourself with the minimum requirements before applying. I will provide the minimum requirements in just a moment. Additionally, United is hiring for a variety of language qualified flight attendant positions requiring applications to undergo a language fluency test along with the standard application process. So here's what's going to be required when you start the application process. Obviously, the user information, which is your information, your personal information. I guess user information would be probably email and password to log into the portal. Some personal information, some general questions, some job specific questions, your work and education history, your voluntary information, and then you'd review and you'd submit your application. So the application process, qualification, and requirements. So here are the official flight attendant job requirements. You could pause the video just to have a quick look at them, but I will add them in the guide as well, a link that you can download these. Okay, so these are the requirements right here. Okay, so they start with the top, which is the qualification and requirements to include is 21 years of age or older at the time of application. High school graduate or GED, 2 or more years of college is preferred. Have a look over. There's quite a few requirements here. Make sure you pause the video and read through them, okay? So the talent assessment. Those who meet our requirements will be invited to complete an online assessment as the next step in our selection process. We're a community of friendly, forward-thinking people, and the talent assessment helps us determine who is a good fit for the United flight attendant position. So because they're a community of friendly, forward-thinking people, this assessment will essentially determine more about your personality, okay? So for example, what do they ask? United Airlines flight attendant online assessment is designed to evaluate a candidate's suitability for the role by focusing on key competencies such as customer service, teamwork, and problem-solving abilities. The assessment typically includes a combination of personality tests and situational judgment tests. Let's explore each one. Personality test. These tests assess how candidates might behave in various work-related scenarios. For instance, the Hogan personality test is commonly used to evaluate traits relevant to the role. It's advisable to answer honestly while aligning your responses with United Airlines core values. Fly right, fly friendly, fly together, and fly above and beyond. Now, the situational judgment tests, also known as the SJTs. The SJTs present hypothetical workplace situations to assess your judgment and decision-making skills. For example, you might be asked how you would handle a scenario where two coworkers are not getting along. It's important to demonstrate strong interpersonal skills and the ability to de-escalate conflicts, as these are crucial for a flight attendant role. Here's a talent assessment that I was able to find from someone who failed. Let's see what they wrote. Hi everyone, I applied for the flight attendant position and received an email about the assessment. The first part was pretty easy as it talks about standards of operations. Then the second half felt really subjective. Something like how would you feel if two coworkers didn't like each other but are working and etc. I answered with honesty since again, it really felt like it was based on the individual. Fast forward to today and I received an email saying I failed the assessment and saying that I can reapply again in a year. I'm really confused as to how I failed because I felt I did quite good at it. Then again, I felt like the second half of the assessment was too subjective and kind of screwed me over. I answered from my viewpoint, but if United did not agree with what I chose, that's what training's for, right? So how do you pass that talent assessment? These are 2 testimonials from people who've actually passed it. Just have a good customer service-based resume and tailor your responses on the assessment to what the United Airlines brand is, which is being friendly and a team player. Then you'll be scheduled for the video interview. Training is all about safety. The assessment questions are about how you work with people. They won't train you to act a certain way during training. They're looking for people that already possess de-escalation skills and customer service abilities. Here's another one. Next time, don't take the assessment from your point of view. Take it from theirs. They want safety first, customer service second. They want to see you strongly confident in your decision making and leadership. A lot of people answer thinking that they should answer as, oh, I get along with everyone. I'm a go with the flow person. That is not the job for it. They truly want leader mindsets, okay? So I have included 4 or 5 more tips from candidates who did the talent assessment in the United Airlines hiring guide that you can download at the end of this video. Number 3, the flyer-friendly Q&A, which is optional. All candidates who are successful in the application and in-flight assessment steps will be invited to attend an optional flyer-friendly Q&A session with the in-flight recruiting team to answer questions about the role. Sessions are hosted frequently, so if you cannot attend the first option, please check the invitation link for when additional dates are posted. Candidates will not be penalized if they are not able to attend the session. Keep that in mind. This is an optional session. Only if you pass the first 2, which is the application process and the talent assessment, will you receive an email invited to this. So this is essentially how the email will look. You'll receive an email here inviting you. We have received your application and are thrilled to know that you are interested in becoming a United flight attendant. As you may know, our flight attendants play a vital role in the success of our company, blah, blah, blah. So this is the email, and then you can click this link right here, which will take you to the talent assessment, okay? So here's what people had to say about the flyer-friendly Q&A. I just got out of the Q&A. It is completely optional. They made it very clear that you are not required to attend and that they don't keep track of attendees. I do think it is worthwhile attending if you can. There is definitely some good info I didn't know. Q&A is optional and you can attend as many times as you want. It just gives information on the job, the bases, the fleet, the salary, etc. After that, you will get an invite to do an on-demand introduction video. They ask a handful of questions just to get to know you, and you will have to provide your passport information as well. So now here comes the pre-recorded interview process. Candidates who successfully pass the in-flight assessment will be required to complete a pre-recorded virtual interview. Consider this an opportunity for United's hiring team to get to know you and understand why you are the ideal candidate for the position. The pre-recorded interview is usually 4 questions, more on this later. So here's what people have said about the pre-recorded interviews. I would treat this video interview just as if you had somebody sitting in front of you. Come looking the part. Tape a note by the camera to look there. When I did it last year, it was pretty straightforward questions. Make sure you have good lighting and a nice quiet background. You got this. And I recommend doing it on a PC or laptop. Have a notepad window open. You have all the time you want during the virtual interview. Type out how you want to answer the questions. Do not hit the record button until you practice answering them. You only have 2 chances, and submitting your answer, meaning if you did not like how you answered it the first time, you could not choose to re-record it. Keep the notes window open in case you need to look at it with a quick glance. Do not read directly off the notepad. Okay, so just some great tips right there from people. So in the pre-recorded interview, here's what I was able to find in terms of the kind of questions you will be asked. Number one, why do you think this position is right for you? Why do you think being a flight attendant for United Airlines is the right choice for you? Number two, the second question is about how you would adapt to the role of being a flight attendant. For example, the job responsibilities, travel, timing, locations, working with the team, etc. Number three, picking one of their 4 core values: safe, caring, dependable, and efficient. Pick the one you find most important and why you think so. How is the one you picked important when it comes to working for United? And how do you use this core value not only at work but in your personal life? Now, I have included 2 more possible questions and additional tips from people who have completed the virtual interview within the United Airlines guide that you can download at the end of this video. The live virtual interview with the recruiter. This is the 5th step in the hiring process. Candidates who are successful in their pre-recorded virtual interview will be invited to complete a 30-minute live virtual interview with a member of United's talent acquisition team. Candidates will be asked questions testing their specific skills and competencies required for the flight attendant role. Interview tip: familiarize yourself with answering interview questions with a story by laying out the situation, task, action, and result. This is known as the STAR method, okay? Now, here are the actual questions you will be asked in the live virtual interview. Tell me about yourself. Where have you worked before? Are you able to relocate? Can you tell me about a coworker you had to work with but didn't get along with? Can you describe to me when something went wrong and you failed to achieve what you were trying to accomplish? Now, these questions have all been answered in, let me give you a quick view here of this awesome hiring guide that I put together. As you can see, there's some resources here. First of all, when you start and you open the guide, you got fantastic resources, United Airlines FAQs, and then towards the bottom here, you got all the questions. Okay, up to number 37. Do you have any questions for us? Okay, so all these questions right here that you see have been answered in that guide. So I've provided in the beginning how to answer the question and why hiring managers ask you the question, as well as an amazing sample answer as well, okay? Okay, so now comes the immersive interview in person. Now, this is at the head office, okay? So candidates who are successful in their live virtual interview will be invited to Houston for an immersive interview experience, including group and one-on-one activities with United qualified flight attendant recruiters. For candidates outside of the Houston area, United will provide a flight voucher to get you to and from your interview. So again, you will fly out to Houston for an interview. You will spend the day doing group activities, handling situations, and then do a face-to-face interview, okay? So the first interview will be in a group setting. It is important to be prepared to give examples from your professional work experience and how it relates to their slogan, "Good leads the way." For example, what is something you did that was a good example of good leads the way? Now, from what I have found out, this group interview only has 1 question. Now, the next part involves cart of tasks. This will be another group interview where you prioritize tasks on a flight that could come up from most important to least. There are 10 tasks and 1 surprise task where the pilot is trying to call you. This task part is going to be a group activity that you all have to do together. In other words, you have to work as a team. Okay? The last part of the interview process on that day is the one-on-one interview. You will be with the United flight attendant who will show you videos and ask you to read and remember what was said. Sometimes you will be asked to respond to guests on the plane. So these are guests that are within the video who will be speaking to you, pretending they're speaking to you, and you'll be asked to respond to them. Now, here's a candidate tip. Just remember teamwork, safety, and customer service. Now, here's what you can expect during the immersive interview. These are testimonials from candidates who have been through the immersive experience. Let's check it out. There were 55 people. They're all ages, tall, short, and all races. I met another applicant when walking to the interview site who spoke 5 languages. We stuck together as well as meeting others while waiting in the lobby. You are being watched in the lobby because a man who was standing around in the lobby was actually a recruiter later that day. We were assigned different base names and split into groups where we played a game to see how we interacted with each other. The tone of the interview was extremely professional and friendly. Now, this is from somebody else. The tone of the interview was extremely professional and friendly. All of the recruiters were flight attendants who had been there from 11 years up to 26 years or so. In my one-on-one, I was asked to respond to a video playing next to me as if I was the actual flight attendant working that flight. Then I was asked if I am currently a flight attendant, as I think he reviewed my resume or my application. I did the reach test with shoes off, then told me to watch my email for the next 5 to 8 days. Okay, so I guess after this person was done, the recruiter told them to keep an eye on the email because they were possibly going to get a response about if they passed to the next level or not. Now here's another one. I did have to read an announcement as well as responded to a passenger in the video. I guess they meant to say it was very familiar to me because I am currently a flight attendant. So I departed really learning that United is a wonderful company and still waiting to receive my email for my status. So 2 to 3 immersive sample questions will be provided towards the end of this video. All others are available in the United Airlines hiring guide. So I'll provide you 2 to 3 samples of some of the questions that will be asked during the interview. I know they will be asked because I was able to research and find from people who've taken the interview that these questions are asked, as well as I reached out to a few recruiters and they provided me a little bit about what will be asked. So I will provide a sample for them and then you can find the rest of them in the hiring guide that you can download. So number 7, you pass the immersive face-to-face interview, you will be given a conditional training offer. What is that? Congratulations if you have made it to this step. You have been successful in our interview process and will receive a conditional training offer, also known as a CTO. Note, all flight attendant conditional training offers are contingent on the successful completion of United's pre-employment background checks, drug screening, fingerprinting, and vision hearing test. Flight attendant trainees become United employees only after completing United's 6.5 week-long initial in-flight training program. So now if there's a language assessment, which is the ALTA, so ALTA language assessment, this step is only applicable to those applying for language qualified flight attendant position. I won't go more into that, but if you've applied where language is a requirement, for example, let me bring up a sample here. Oh, by the way, this was actually just recently posted that they are hiring flight attendants currently on today's date, which is the 4th of February. So if you go to flight attendant, here's just a regular flight attendant available, just actually posted yesterday. So available in 7 locations, just want to let you know that. So for example, if you apply to Dutch speaking or Italian speaking, this right here will be applicable to you, okay? So only if you qualify to become a language qualified flight attendant. So you must be willing to complete pre-employment screening tests, comprehensive background checks, fingering and vision hearing tests, must be able to pass the FAA pre-employment and randomized drug screens. Medical and recreational marijuana is prohibited due to the safety sensitive nature of the flight attendant position. Must be able to pass a 10-year background check, including criminal background history. Your background must not prohibit travel to or from anywhere United flies. For example, Canada has a strict inadmissible classification for DWI, DUI charges, including misdemeanors. If you have been on probation or convicted of this within the last 10 years, the Canadian government will not allow you to travel to and from Canada unless you have already received a temporary resident permit, so TRP, from the Canadian government, which will allow you to continue to work duties for a temporary period of time. So here's a quick note. Failure of the drug test, you will have to wait 2 years before you can reapply to become a flight attendant for United Airlines, okay? So in this guide right here, which is the hiring guide that you can download, I've included a link to United Airlines background check information, as well as what others are saying about the United Airlines background check. Okay, these are some community posts, okay? So that information is in the guide as well. So what about the in-flight training? So to be eligible for training, candidates must complete the required paperwork and pass the background checks and drug screening prior to training. I've already discussed that previously. So once confirmed, candidates will be assigned a training date and then begin their 6.5-week on-site training in Houston, Texas. Initial training is a 6.5-week program with several evaluations throughout, which covers topics such as emergency procedures, CPR, safety, security, service, and our aircraft fleet. Trainees will complete training flights and in-flight evaluations. Trainees will receive 2 meals per day, $140 per week during training, and a $1,000 cash bonus upon successful completion of training. United will provide trainees with hotel accommodation for their duration of the training, and trainees will be paired with a roommate, a great opportunity to make connections and potential lifelong friendships. During the first week of in-flight training, trainees will be assigned a base to report to upon successful completion of training. International and satellite bases are not assigned to new hires, as they do not have supervisors on site. Bases are offered subject to the company's needs and may vary from training class to training class. The assigned base is where the flight attendant will start and end all their trips. New hire flight attendants can request to transfer to a different base after completing their probationary period of 6 months as an employee. Transfer requests are rewarded based on company need and in seniority order. So here's what people have to say about this. Here's actual testimonials. You won't have to memorize the layouts to the seat or row or anything. Don't worry about that. 1 whole week is dedicated to learning each aircraft. The whole 6.5 weeks is well developed. Here's what somebody else had to say. The first 4 weeks of training focus on one aircraft. Week 5, you will learn and are tested on the other 5 planes. It makes more sense once you're in training and everything is explained, but it is not as daunting as it sounds. So finally, the graduation. Congratulations and welcome to the crew. After a rigorous 6.5 weeks training programs, you are ready to fly the friendly skies and become an official United employee. Okay, immediately following the training, you'll receive a well-deserved week off. Shortly after, you'll be whisked off to your new base to get settled in. Congratulations! You'll receive a 1-week hotel stay courtesy of United to help you get settled into your new living arrangements. There will be a one-on-one base orientation to help you familiarize you with your new work location, transportation, and many other tips to help you be successful at your new base. Depending on the schedule you're awarded after training, you may be assigned your first trip the very next day. That is super exciting. I mean, why wouldn't you not want to work for United, right? After hearing all this, all these benefits and how they take care of their employees, this is amazing, and I hope what I've put together so far is amazing. And if you enjoy what I've put together so far, support my channel. There's a support button right below this video. You can hit that, send me a support donation. I would really appreciate that, okay? For the first 6 months of your career, the probationary period, you'll schedule monthly check-ins with a supervisor who will help guide and support you in your new career. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions and discuss job-related functions to ensure you're adjusting safely. So what about the travel and benefits? Let's look at those. So travel, enjoy unlimited standby travel and discounted airfare to anywhere we fly. Okay, financial, our 401k plan includes a company match to provide financial security for your future. Additionally, we provide both short-term and long-term incentive opportunities. Health, your physical and emotional wellness is our top priority. We offer a variety of medical plans and options, including vision, dental, long-term disability, and life insurance. And professional, we believe in continuous learning and professional development. I guess this part is that they train you so you can move up in the company and follow your passion of working for an airline and keep moving up slowly in seniority and transition into other jobs within the company. So again, in this guide right here, I provided a link to the travel and benefits as well, okay? Now, what about the pay structure? Earn $28.88 per flight per hour with the opportunity to increase your pay annually throughout your 13th year, reaching up to $67 per flight hour. Plus, receive an additional $2 per flight hour reserve override when on reserve duty, okay? The 13-year pay structure can be found in the United Airlines hiring guide. Again, I've put this link right here. Click on this, it will take you exactly to where you need to go, okay? So here are some United Airlines FAQs. How to inquire about the status of your flight attendant application. To check the status of your application, access your profile on United's career site. Updates to your status will be communicated through emails from United's talent acquisition team. Number 2, can you correct information on your application after submitted? Unfortunately, once submitted, the questions on your application cannot be mod. So that's why it's very important to take a look at the application before submitting it. It is very important, okay? Number 3, is a passport mandatory for the application process? Yes, applicants must hold a valid United States or foreign passport book with a minimum of 18 months of remaining validity at the time of the application. So it must be valid for a minimum of 18 months of remaining, 18 months remaining valid until when you apply. I've applied for my passport but haven't received it yet. Should I still apply? Please wait to apply for the flight attendant position until you have your passport book in your physical possession. Due to the extensive wait times to receive your passport, having applied for a passport book or waiting for a renewed passport book is not sufficient to meet United's passport requirement. What is the height and weight requirements for the flight attendant? Candidates must be able to pass a functional reach assessment with a combined 76-inch vertical and 43.5-inch horizontal reach simultaneously, without shoes on and able to sit in an assigned jump seat with seatbelt and shoulder harness fastened. There is no weight requirement. Fantastic. Let's look at number 5. What is United Airlines tattoo policy for flight attendants? United flight attendants can have visible tattoos on their arms, wrists, ankles, that are no larger than United badge or are covered with a standard uniform piece. Visible tattoos should not be offensive to customers and your fellow employees. Offensive content includes violent, obscene, sexual, racist, or objectionable content and have any imagery that includes weapons. Tattoos on the head, hands, or neck, including behind the ear, are currently outside of our tattoo policy and not permitted, okay? I have finished my application and assessment but have not received any communication after that. Does this mean I've been rejected? Not necessarily. That the flight attendant position is high in demand and it may take some time before our team reaches out. You can expect to receive email notifications regarding the next steps in the application process. So don't worry, if you haven't received anything, just be patient. As they've just mentioned, they get a lot of applications, so it may just take time, okay? Great, now I'm going to go over some of the actual questions you will be asked during the interview process. These are the actual questions, so I will show you how to answer them first, and then I'll go into an amazing sample answer that you can use. You can actually customize it with your own work history, your skills, and your qualifications as well, okay? Question number 1. Tell us about a difficult customer service experience and how you handled it. United Airlines wants to see how you stay calm under pressure, use problem-solving skills, and maintain excellent customer service. Focus on a real-life example that shows your ability to de-escalate situations, empathize with customers, and find a solution. Use the STAR method, situation, task, action, result, to structure your answer. If you have flight attendant experience, give an example from that role. If not, use an example from any customer-facing job to highlight transferable skills. Here's a great sample answer for a candidate with flight attendant experience. Situation. On a fully booked flight, a passenger was upset because their carry-on bag couldn't fit in the overhead bin and they didn't want to check it. Task. My goal was to de-escalate the situation, find a solution, and ensure the passenger felt heard while keeping boarding on schedule. Action. I calmly acknowledged their frustration and reassured them I would do my best to help. I checked for alternate bin space, but none was available. I then explained that we could gate check their bag for free and that it would be among the first bags off the plane. To ease their concern, I confirmed with the ground crew that they'd retrieve it right at the jet bridge. And finally, result. The passenger appreciated the effort, agreed to gate check the bag, and thanked me after the flight for my patience and professionalism. This experience reinforced how important it is to stay calm, communicate clearly, and offer solutions. Now, here's a great sample answer for a candidate without flight attendant experience. Situation. While working as a restaurant server, I had a customer who was upset because their meal took longer than expected and wasn't prepared as they requested. Task. My goal was to de-escalate the situation and turn their experience into a positive one. Action. I apologized sincerely and let them know I understood their frustration. I quickly checked with the kitchen and found out there was a mix-up with their order. I informed them honestly about the delay and offered a complimentary side or drink while they waited. I also made sure to follow up frequently so they felt valued. And finally, result. The customer appreciated the transparency and extra effort. By the end of their meal, they were in a much better mood and even left a positive review about the service. This experience taught me that staying calm, being proactive, and showing empathy can turn a difficult situation into a good customer experience. Question number 2. What is one thing you would change about yourself and why? When answering this question, pick a real but non-critical weakness, something that wouldn't prevent you from excelling as a flight attendant. Focus on self-awareness and growth by explaining how you're actively improving in this area. Avoid overly negative traits. For example, I have trouble working in teams, and instead choose something that shows your commitment to personal or professional development. If I could change one thing about myself, it would be my tendency to overthink situations, especially when I want to make the best possible decision. In a fast-paced environment like aviation, I know that quick, confident decision-making is essential. To improve, I've been working on trusting my instincts more and reminding myself that I can rely on my training and teamwork to handle any situation effectively. I also started setting time limits for myself when making decisions, which helped me become more efficient without second-guessing. I know that as a flight attendant, adaptability is key, and I'm committed to continuously improving in this area. Question number 3. Why do you want to become a flight attendant? When answering, why do you want to become a flight attendant? Focus on your passion for customer service, love for travel, and ability to adapt to different situations. Highlight qualities like teamwork, flexibility, and safety awareness, which are key in this role. Make sure to tie your answer back to United Airlines values such as connecting people and uniting the world. I want to become a flight attendant because I truly enjoy helping people and creating positive experiences, even in high-pressure situations. I've always loved traveling and meeting people from different backgrounds, and this role allows me to combine my passion for service with my curiosity about the world. I'm drawn to United Airlines because of its commitment to connecting people globally while emphasizing safety and excellent customer care. Being part of a team that values professionalism and compassion aligns perfectly with my strengths, and I'm excited about the opportunity to represent United while ensuring every passenger feels safe, comfortable, and valued. Now, here's the last sample answer we'll look at. Question number 4. What are 3 of your strengths? When asked about your strengths in a United Airlines flight attendant interview, choose qualities that align with the role. Think customer service, teamwork, adaptability, or communication. Be specific and back each strength with a brief example that shows how you've used it in a professional setting. Keep it concise but impactful. 3 of my key strengths are strong communication skills, adaptability, and a customer-first mindset. In my previous role, clear communication helped me resolve passenger concerns quickly and professionally, even during stressful situations like flight delays. Adaptability is crucial in this role, and I've shown that by staying calm and flexible when handling last-minute schedule changes or unexpected passenger needs. Lastly, my customer-first mindset means I always go the extra mile to make sure passengers feel comfortable and valued, whether it's assisting with special requests or just offering a friendly smile to brighten someone's day. Great, so those are just some examples of the type of questions you will be asked during the interview. Now, I've done my research, I've read in communities as well as reached out to recruiters and just put together a combination of questions that people have been talking about and people have mentioned during the interview they were asked. So for example, I put this together right here. It's a total of 37 questions that you'll be able to find in the guide. In the beginning, I'll start off with describing how to answer it and why hiring managers ask you those questions, and then go into an amazing sample answer, okay? So for example, some of them just include, what does the United brand mean to you? What is your greatest weakness, which is number 9, for example. Number 12, do you feel your recent jobs helped in preparing you for this position? Okay, some of the other ones include, describe a situation at work you wish you had handled differently. Number 22, describe a time when you went above the scope of your duty to help a customer. Number 24, if a passenger in first class has their laptop out and the door is shut, what do you do and say? So we've answered all of these. So everything from number 1 all the way to number 37, where do you have any questions for us? I will provide some questions that you can even ask the hiring manager, okay? Are you willing to relocate? Number 32. Number 33, what are 3 of your strengths? So you can find a link to download this guide in the description below. And when you click that link, you will land on a page right here, okay? So in the guide, I have included just the general resources here. So United Airlines FAQs, and then you have United Airlines flight attendant FAQs. So general questions about just United Airlines, as well as frequently asked questions about the flight attendant job. And then you get into United Airlines interview questions and answers part 2. United Airlines company, history, people, jobs, and more. So I provided a link on where you can find out more about the company. So if they do ask you more about United Airlines, you have information on when it was started, recent events taking place, new news about United Airlines and everything. I've also included the United Airlines flight attendant qualifications and requirements, some information on United Airlines background check information, as well as some FAQs on the United Airlines Airlines background check in community post on what people say about marijuana, as well as failing the drug screening test, as well as failing the background check, when you can reapply, what United is looking for, is there any exceptions to the rule. So then you'll also get a link to the flight attendant travel and benefits, which I showed you, the actual landing page to that, where you can read more about the travel and benefits, and the United Airlines pay structure. Then you'll find the United Airlines flight attendant job search, so a link to the page where when new flight attendant jobs become available, where you can find them, okay? And then here are the 37 sample questions. Now, all I ask is right here that you support my channel by making a minimum donation of $3. When you make this donation, you will be able to download the guide. Now, it took some work and some effort to put this together, and I hope that you really enjoyed everything I've put together for you. And if you can support my channel, it's a minimum of $3 up to anywhere up to $20. Your donation and your support allows me to keep doing what I do, and that's provide valuable information to all of you and even answer your questions. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment box below and I will find an answer for you. Okay, so I would really appreciate it. So don't forget to download the guide, or just look at it as supporting my channel. And in return, I will give you this guide with all the answers to help you land your dream job of becoming a flight attendant. I wish you nothing but good luck on the application process and throughout every single step of the hiring process. Keep your head up. Good luck. Keep smiling.